my video is going to be a little different today because I'm going to do it in face like this instead of a PowerPoint, because I discovered that my Chromebook is not compatible with the audio feature on PowerPoint. The case I'm going to be discussing today is Doe versus Hagar. And a quick summary of this case is the plaintiff is Jane Doe, a former Playboy bunny, and the defendant is Sammy Hagar, a well-known American rock artist. And she got pregnant and claimed it was Hagar's child, and Hagar denied these claims, and they made a settlement about 25 years ago. And he released a book a few years ago that claimed she claimed extortion on her, and said that she claimed she was pregnant to just get money, and she sued. And so that is what this case is about. So first, the plaintiff is Jane Doe, an anonymous woman, and the defendant is Sammy Hagar, as I said, a well-known American rock artist. Jane Doe is a former Playboy bunny who met Hagar in 1983 and engaged in a romantic relationship from 1983 to 1988, despite seeing each other infrequently during that time. In June 1988, Doe attended a Van Halen concert, and Hagar was the lead singer of Van Halen at that time. After the concert, Doe went to Hagar's room and the two engaged in sexual intercourse, and 3 months later, Doe informed Hagar's manager that she was pregnant with Hagar's child. Hagar denied that he was the father of this child, even though Doe's close family and friends knew of Hagar's relationship with Doe and knew that knew of Doe's belief that Hagar was in fact the father of her child. In the summer of 1988, Doe hired an attorney to assist her in obtaining child support, and the parties negotiated an agreement which was signed on February 17, 1989, whereby Hagar provided Doe a certain amount of money for Doe's silence on her belief that Hagar was the father of her child. Doe received a total of $7,000 from Hagar. And on February 27, 1989, Doe gave birth to a child that passed away on March 4th, 1988, a few days later. And there was no paternity test or DNA test done. Then in March 2011, which is 22 years after this event, Hagar released an autobiography with the title Red, My Uncensored Life in Rock. And Hagar accused Doe of extortion in his book by saying that she claimed she was pregnant to get money. And after the release of the book, Doe claimed that Hagar's extortion claim was false, and she informed her friends and family of how she was mentioned in this book, so they would not believe these statements were true if they read it on their own. In October 2011, Doe sued Hagar in Iowa State Court. Hagar removed the case to District Court, based on diversity of state citizenship. In April 2013, the District Court granted Hagar's motion for summary judgment with respect to all of Doe's claims, and Doe shortly after filed for an appeal. So the issue at bar. On appeal, Doe claimed that the District Court erred in granting summary judgment on her claims of libel per se, false light invasion of privacy, intentional infliction of emotional distress, breach of contract, and breach of the duty of good faith and fair dealing. Libel per se is a broadcast or written publication of a false statement about another which accuses him or her of a crime or an immoral act or something of that nature. False light invasion of privacy is similar to defamation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress is pretty self-evident, as is breach of contract and breach of the duty of good faith and fair dealing, which deals with contract law. So the decision of the court. The court affirmed the District Court's grant of summary judgment in favor of Hagar on Doe's claims of intentional infliction of emotional distress and breach of the contract covenant of good faith and fair dealing. The court reversed the grant of summary judgment on Doe's claim of libel per se, false light invasion of privacy, and breach of contract, and remanded to the district court for further proceedings consistent with this opinion. The court applied Iowa law to Doe's claims of libel per se, false light invasion of privacy, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The case Urban Hotel Development Company versus President Development Group is cited, noting that a court of appeals applies the substantive law of the state in which the district court sits. The court also applied New York law to Doe's claims of breach of contract and breach of the covenant of good faith and fair dealing. The case John T. Jones Construction Company versus Hoot General Construction Company is cited, noting that once the existence of a contract is determined, we will apply the law of the forum chosen by the parties to questions of interpretation or construction of the contract. So after this was decided, this case was officially closed in November 2014, and the details of the case are not evident. They're private information. We don't know if they settled or not. But what we do know is that it was officially closed in November 2014, and that this particular case, was the plaintiff both won and lost. Thank you.